The OnePlus 9 Pro has been out for just over a month now. I've seen countless reviews on it and even made one myself. And all reviewers seem to agree on one thing. The camera is nothing exceptional. Now, is the negative feedback on this camera system really justified? Well, before we get started, be sure to subscribe and help me reach the 300 subscriber goal for May, and let's jump into it. To find out what happened, we need to take a look at the events preceding the phone's release. As is the case with OnePlus, they tend to tease their phones as much as possible. This not only builds up hype around the release, but also tends to generate a lot of discussion in the tech community. This has usually never backfired on OnePlus, that is until the release of the OnePlus 9 Pro. OnePlus started teasing the potential of the Hasselblad partnership in early March by tweeting out cherry-picked pictures. With every picture, they wanted to showcase the true potential of the OnePlus 9 Pro camera system. And that in itself is not a bad thing. But before anyone ever knew about this partnership, the expectations from the OnePlus 9 Pro camera were, let's say, this much. But after OnePlus started the hype train, the obvious thing happened. The expectations increased. Now, this gap that OnePlus created by hyping this partnership is a dangerous territory to tread in. Once the phone was released, the camera obviously was not that great, but it was still above those initial expectations everyone had before the Hasselblad hype train left its station. But like I said before, that gap is a dangerous territory. That gap is what caused so much negative feedback to come out after the release, and there was no way anyone was going to be satisfied with the camera due to the build-up prior to the launch. That, I believe, is the first reason OnePlus 9 Pro got so much negative feedback for its camera. The second reason is something that OnePlus could have totally avoided. Now, believe it or not, I think OnePlus released an unfinished product with the OnePlus 9 Pro. Their phone was not yet ready to launch, but OnePlus did so anyway. If you saw the reviews after the release, so many reviewers pointed out the fact that the camera app for the phone was so laggy. It was slow to launch, there was a delay while taking the shot, the pictures were over-sharpened at places, and a few more issues here and there. Now, this was indirectly confirmed by OnePlus as they were churning out updates after updates to improve the camera. I think there have been almost 4 updates in a month to improve this camera, and I've never seen that happen before with a flagship launch. Had OnePlus taken their time to optimize the camera app performance, I think the reviews would have been less negative. The third and final reason OnePlus got so much flack was for not doing anything different with their cameras. Yes, they did introduce a custom-made Sony lens for the ultra-wide camera. That is probably the saving grace of this phone. But other than that, nothing special about these cameras that hasn't been done before. Now, before the launch, OnePlus had several taglines like they usually do, like reinventing the camera, the moon in your pockets, and many more. But is putting a 2-megapixel monochrome lens on a flagship called reinventing the camera? The fact that the telephoto lens was an afterthought says so much about how much OnePlus focused on revolutionizing mobile photography. Even the selfie camera is average at the best. Now, OnePlus could have done so much more with this camera system. They could have used a periscope lens, an ultra-wide front-facing camera, some neat software tricks, a depth sensor, or I don't know, something like a space zoom to take better moonshots. Now, all these reasons are justified, but I think reviewers shouldn't have been too hard on OnePlus. This is indeed the very first phone with that partnership, and OnePlus does have a 3-year commitment with Hasselblad. OnePlus has also said that Hasselblad will have more say in their next product, which I believe is going to be the OnePlus 9T. Hopefully with that phone, OnePlus can really reinvent the camera system and come out with all guns blazing. Now that's it for this video, guys. Thanks for watching. Be sure to subscribe, like, and comment, and I'll see you guys in the next one.